As Misty and Jasmine and the old man seems to realize this Mudkip is simply attacked by a bunch of crumb goblins trying to simply hunt it down for some odd reason, but it's clearly that Mudkip seems to be very gotten by the group, and Misty seeing a innocent water Pokemon seems to being attacked by unknown reason seems to get very angry and demands them to apologize to Mudkip. But unfortunately it gets the bunch of fish Pokemon to attack Misty, leaving no other choice but Jasmine to send out Ironia and trying to stop them with a powerful rock throw, and this does manage to scare them off just a little because the Pokemon seems to know not to mess around with human much, especially if they're not in the waters with them, knowing they have their advantage. But since they're on a boat and the trainer seems to be willing to fight back, this gets the fish Pokemon to run away. Simply for now, leaving the three group to take care of Mudkip, it seems to be greatly be damaged from the Pokemon, but the old man tried his best until they could reach to shore, making sure that Mudkip is taken care of. But throughout the night, Misty seems to be the one watching Mudkip a lot often until they reach the Pokemon Center, leaving Jasmine to be confused that Misty doesn't need to watch over Mudkip, even though it's not even a Pokemon. But Misty seems to explain she's the one that caught Mudkip and she feels more responsible for it. And after Mudkip seems to wake up slightly from hearing Misty and seems to return back to his sleep. After a few days, once they finally reach the shore, the group quickly rushes to the Pokemon Center and get Mudkip to Nurse Joy. And after a day or so, Mudkip seems to fully recovered by this, and Misty simply apologized for getting Mudkip on the boat if Mudkip could have escaped from the boat, but Mudkip seems to be unbothered by it and is actually greeting Missy by rubbing her cheeks with her, leading Missy to be a bit joyful. And once the old man seems to says goodbye to them, but not for too long because he also needs to return them back to the mainland. So the two can just go to him at any point if they wish to return, as the two trainers simply nod toward him and trying to deliver the package. They ask around and they got managed to get one guy explaining that there was a trainer heading towards the caves here, trying to find something deep in the cave, which gets Mercy to complain that because they have to go through a cave just to find this guy. Misty points out they could just wait for him, but the guy says that this trainer seems to spend more time in the cave than actual out here in the island, which gets Misty under her breath to curse this guy for being a duncehead for being the games all day. As Misty tries to get Misty to stop complaining and deliver this important package to his son. As Misty stops complaining and the two heads to the cage, as Jasmine seems to be noticing Mudkip is sneakily up behind them, making sure Mudkip doesn't get caught, but it fails miserably because the little Pokemon water Pokemon seems to be very bad at this, and Jasmine seems to caught Mudkip to the point where Mudkip had a fall into a rock, forcing Misty to turn out to see Mudkip, and Mudkip seems to quickly rush over to Misty, and Jasmine point out that Mudkip wants to come with Misty, and Misty is unsure why because she barely did anything to get Mudkip, but Mudkip seems to really wanting to come with Misty, and without not taking an opportunity to add another water Pokemon to her team, she throws a Pokeball and manages to capture her third Pokemon. As the two trainers finally reach to the cave, Misty feels reluctant but tries to go through because of the promise to Roxanne, the trainer that taught her so much about Pokemon. The two trainer goes in and it seems to get darker and darker. And Misty points this out they might have to return to a Pokemon to get a flashlight. But to her surprise, Jasmine already has a flashlight repair and points out what a dense trainer going to a cave without some sort of light. So she really is just a rookie, which gets Messi to get very angry. But the two girls simply accidentally bump into a huge weird looking rock. But unfortunately for them, the rock seems to move, and Misty could recognize this Pokemon to be a large onyx, and it's angry that these two just woken up. No other choice, the two trainers send out Silo and Iron to battle. Luckily, against a wild Pokemon, the children shouldn't have any problem. But unfortunately, this Onyx seems to be very aggressive, slamming its tail to cause the rocks on the caves to fall on top of them, as it is actually making much more harder for the two to get in close and also trying to make sure Onyx doesn't try to collapse the cave. And fearing the worst, Jasmine simply commands for Iron to slice Onyx with a powerful metal cut. And once Onyx seems to reel back from the cave as Jasmine simply throws a Pokeball, not really wanting to capture Onyx but trying to stop Onyx from slamming into the gate, and that might actually cause an accident. And after 1, 2, 3 shakes, Onyx seems to be captured by Jasmine, leaving the Misty to be stunned in surprise and asking what she's going to do with Onyx after once we get out of here. Jasmine seems to not sure, but she will deal with it later. But right now, but unfortunately, since Onyx slams the cave so much, it disturbs the other Pokemon living here, getting a bunch of irons and its evolution counterpart Elron. And since the group is quite angry between the two, and they begin to attack the two, even though it's not their fault, it's the Onyx. But unfortunately, they're already in a very heated battle between the wild Pokemon here, forcing Jasmine and Misty to battle them. Jasmine points out this is the first time that he captured Iron here, but unfortunately some of the Pokemon they didn't really like Jasmine's Iron here for some strange reason, which forces some of the wild Pokemon to attack Iron more than Celio here. And Misty tries to back up Iron here by launching a powerful water gun towards all the rock Pokemon here, who seems to be weak to Celio here, which having a greater chance on the two trainers survival. But unfortunately the Pokemon matches way too many Pokemon for the two to handle, which forces them to try to run away as they try to run away. But unfortunately the Pokemon seems to cover the exit, leaving the two to be stranded, and the Pokemon seems to be quite tired from the battle with the wild Irons and Aron. But this seems to be the end for them. If it wasn't for the fact that all of them seems to glow and send offline towards the wall as the iron and light crash into each other. And Jasmine and Missy seems to be confused on what's going on. They look at each other thinking they did something, but they just both shook their heads to see a very handsome man standing on top of the cliff with a floating Pokemon belt down floating in the air, and seems to be a blue-haired man as he climbed down toward the rock side and commanding Balaam to use confusion again. And this the second time he gets the Iron to think tries on trying to attack the group again, and this does send them away for now. And Steven's own seems but as Jasmine to get a little flustered on looking at Steven, almost struggling to speak, but luckily Misty is there to speak for her as she thanks this guy for saving him. And this guy explains that his name is Stevenson. And the moment Misty hears his name, Misty all of a sudden gets quite mad and yelling at Stevenson because this is technically his fault. If he didn't spend most of his time in this game, that this wouldn't happen because she didn't need to go into a stupid cave to deliver something for his father. And Stevenson seems to push away Missy's anger and actually focusing on that his father sent him for him and is quite thankful. But Missy is a bit too angry by this and is about to bite more. But Stevenson simply shrugs her off that she could give him the package later because right now he's about to discover something quite big that might affect Howard, which gets the two girls to be a bit curious on his findings. After a while of walking, our two heroes, Misty and Jasmine, is following the young man Steven Sawyer. And once Stevenson revealed two ancient writings about three mythical powerful creatures that has the power to destroy the world itself. One is to envelop the whole world of the ocean, while the other one simply can use the power of the lava to burn the world. And this made Jasmine and Missy a bit terrified, but luckily it's just an ancient writing that doesn't seem to be real. But this is when Steven clarified did happen a few years ago, but nobody couldn't remember what happened back then. Luckily, we have a powerful guardian watching these two Pokemon, stopping them from ever clashing again, which made the two girls simply and awe in amazement. This gets the two girls, especially Missy, to be satisfied on why Steven seems to take a longer time going through this game. But this is where Steven points out, no, I'm sorry, but most of the day when I got into that was more focusing on winning a gym battle here. And this is when Misty pops up and asking me, wait, you're telling me there's a gym leader here? Why didn't nobody tell me about it? Jasmine, we need to get the hurry as fast as possible. And this is when Steven raised an eyebrow in interest. So you're challenging the gym leaders, are we? And this is when Missy gets a two-figure and proudly showing her first badge. Yeah, and this one is my first step closer to become a water master. And this is Steven too surprised and genuinely praising Misty for her hard work. And Steven showcases 4 badges that he already collected, and this is where Misty just got surprised once again. She is so boasting her first gym, but this guy is already halfway done doing Hoenn, meaning he's just one step closer to enter the league. And this is when Messi gets a bit upset and pretty much gets her pride in faucet and demanding Steven Stone for a challenge. But unfortunately, Jasmine seems to grumble because it isn't a good idea to doing in a cave. As Stevenson agrees with Jasmine, but he didn't put down the opportunity for a challenge. While they don't do it outside the cave and gets Messy to agree on this. Once the three trainers manage to get out of the cave safely and not attract any more water Pokemon, Misty simply puts down her bag and readies her Pokeball. But Stevenson is doing as well, but unfortunately he just sent Beldum that is already out, and Misty could tell this Pokemon is a Steel type, and unfortunately he doesn't have any Pokemon that could handle this, muttered to herself, but she doesn't worry, and sending out her first strongest Pokemon yet to battle, Celio to battle here. After winning her first batch against Roxanne, Misty seems to have a greater understanding with the Pokemon, especially Celio here, because Misty knows his advantage and disadvantage, and knowing for a fact that Celio isn't that fast, so Misty takes the opportunity to use its more tankier set and allowing Beldum to to hit directly and for Celia to launch out a powerful water pause towards it. But unfortunately for Misty, she is facing off a trainer that's already halfway done to the Hoenn region, meaning it's a huge power gap between the two trainers, which is forcing Misty to try much more harder than Steven Stone, as Steven Stone just simply casually uses takedowns and few confusion right, but Messi seems to notice Bottom only knows two moves, which Messi could use her to her advantage, but unfortunately she isn't that much of a skill trainer yet to take that advantage from Bottom's small full of move, which Bottom greatly used the two move greatly against Celio. Even though Celia has a much more variety attacks, but unfortunately Badham is just simply too powerful for Celia to take on. And once Badham simply take it down as going through Celia's is icy wind attack and directly hit with a powerful takedown, which greatly knocked out Celia out of battle, meaning the winner is Steven Stone. When Misty tries to run to Celia to get it back up, Celia managed to stop Misty from up and try to get back from his own feet and just glad about them and simply unspoken rivalry between the two, but unfortunately Baron doesn't see it that way because it just sees a weaker Pokemon trying to take out a strong Pokemon like it. So it seems to be not interesting in Celio in one way or the other, which is getting Celio to be very angry against this metal Pokemon here. And Stevenson simply recalls Beltep and simply saying that he is grateful for the battle and giving him the package, and it seems like he needs to return back to his grandpa to the company. But Stevenson noticed this wouldn't be the last time we meet again, and this is when Miss Steve vowed to herself he's just another command trainer that to overcome. He's just a bigger mountain compared to Jasmine, and Mercy vows that she will be better and stronger than Steven Stone. And this is where we're going to end the episode here.